Now, prepare to be captivated. The Philippine Army Arnis Group are ready to showcase their mastering in the Arnis exhibition.
The skills and talents that you have witnessed today are a testament to the rich history and enduring spirit of Filipino martial arts by your Philippine Army soldiers.
This occasion marks the 127th founding anniversary of the Philippine Army. We take pride in the impressive display of proficiency exhibited by our soldiers. Let's give a round of applause to the Arnis Trainers Training, Class 01 Arnisadors, Class 02 Camagong, and Class 03 Lumagapak for their exceptional performance.
responding to the call of times. From rugged mountains to sprawling coastlines, the Philippine Army stands guard, ever vigilant, with strength that lies not only in numbers, but in the ability to mobilize swiftly and decisively. A force ready to meet any challenges head-on. With over 100,000 active personnel and over 1 million strong reserve force, the Philippine Army is a formidable total force. Raw in numbers, yet the structure is designed for flexibility with readily deployable units across the archipelago. Each strength lies not just in numbers, but in unity and synergy. With collaborative efforts and teamwork, the effectiveness of the Army operations leads to greater overall success, fostering an organized and harmonious working environment. The Philippine Army maximizes its capabilities. The Philippine Army excels in combined arms operations, with personnel of various specializations being trained, and operates as one cohesive unit. Infantry, armor, artillery, and air support, working in sync, honing the ability to deliver decisive blows and achieve objectives effectively. Time is of the essence. Every second counts. The Philippine Army has groomed its mobilization process to a razor's edge. Utilizing land, sea, and air transport. It can readily deploy the forces of combined arms to any region, when and where they are needed the most. The Philippine Army, under the modernization program, continues to invest in technology, equips soldiers with advanced communication systems, drones for real-time intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance, and improved weapons capabilities that ensures a versatile command force and resilient to any emerging hybrid threats. With its rapid mobilization force, having combined arms expertise, joint force ready, strong sense of adaptability to any situation, and commitment to the people, the Philippine Army stands as a guardian of peace and security for the nation. It is a force to reckon with. Ready to face any challenge. Matatag na Hukbong Katihan para sa Bagong Pilipinas.
Marami pong salamat. Natunghayan natin ang audiovisual na pagtatanghal na itinampok ang Hukbong Katihan mula noon hanggang ngayon bilang isang matatag na hukbo para sa bagong Pilipinas. Muli po palakpakan natin ang ating Hukbong Katihan ng Pilipinas. This time, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, may we give a performance that shows off the collective skill, the discipline and strength of the Army personnel with their very own Philippine martial arts, the Arnis.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Brace yourselves as we are about to witness the incredible skills and unwavering spirit of the Philippine Army Arnis Exhibition Group. In 1974, former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. supported the Filipino martial arts by establishing the National Arnis Association of the Philippines. And in 2009, Arnis became the national martial art and sport through the Republic Act 9850, with the Armed Forces of the Philippines serving as one of the entities overseeing its implementation.
These Arnis techniques are deeply ingrained in the training of our Philippine Army soldiers. These skills are not just for show, but are designed to be applied effectively in real-world scenarios. Witness their athleticism, accuracy, speed, and unwavering determination in a performance that will leave you breathless.
Our guest of honor and speaker for the 127th anniversary of the Philippine Army is no less than the President of the Republic of the Philippines and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., who is represented today by the Secretary of National Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome the Honorable Gilberto C. Teodoro Jr.
Thank you very much, General Bronner. Please take your seats. General Patrimonio, kindly order the troops to Tikas Pahinga.
Tikas! Hinga!
Thank you very much to our Chief of Staff, General Romeo S. Bronner, our host for today, Lieutenant General Roy M. Galido and Mrs. Rina Galido, my colleagues, Secretary Antonio Ernesto F. Lagdameo Jr., Special Assistant to the President, Secretary Mark Leandro Mendoza, Presidential Advisor on Legislative Affairs, Secretary Andy Centino, Presidential Advisor on Maritime Concerns, the Executive Secretary, the Honorable Lucas Bersamin, represented by Assistant Secretary Adrian Bersamin, fellow workers in government, of course, the Chief of the Philippine National Police, General Benji Acorda, and Admiral Gavan of the Philippine Coast Guard, fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, present, good morning to each and every one of you. It is an honor to represent President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. as we celebrate the Philippine Army's 127th founding anniversary. The President extends his greetings to everyone, especially to all the men and women of the Philippine Army on the occasion of this anniversary. He likewise conveys his deep regrets for not being able to be with us today. Nonetheless, he wishes that we all have a memorable event. With your indulgence, I shall now read His Excellency's speech. I extend my warmest greetings to the officers, enlisted personnel, and civilian human resource of the Philippine Army on the occasion of your founding anniversary. Since your foundation 127 years ago, the Philippine Army has endured the test of time, prevailed over battles, and evolved into a force that we can all be proud of. Not only has the organization been successful in its internal security operations, but it also exerted efforts in shifting to external defense. Equally noteworthy are your peacetime endeavors, which put you at the forefront of rescue and recovery missions aimed at ensuring the safety of our citizens. Our soldiers have become a reliable and calming presence amidst the loss and destruction that come in the wake of disasters and calamities. On behalf of a grateful nation, I give my snappiest salute to the Philippine Army's officers, enlisted personnel, civilian employees, as well as our partners and force multipliers in our communities for the significant roles you play in the accomplishment of the Army's mission. Thank you for your service to our country, which you have enthusiastically rendered without expecting any prize or reward in return. I also recognize the Commanding General of the Philippine Army, Lieutenant General Roy Galido, for continuing to raise the morale of our troops through your exemplary leadership. Our brave men and women look up to you for inspiration and guidance, and I hope that you will continue to show them your selfless and dedicated service to the nation. The incredible movement of large-scale forces and the total show of force you have and will see today is just a glimpse of the tremendous pace that our Army is progressing in terms of capabilities. So carry on, Lieutenant General Galido. As we march onward to the Bagong Pilipinas that we aspire for, we need to transform our Army into a multi-mission ready, cross-domain, and capable force that can effectively thwart emerging threats to our country's stability and sovereignty. That is why we continue to boost our Army's morale, efficiency, and responsiveness through continuous capacity building initiatives, rigorous training, and education activities, and other meritorious pursuits. Our ability to counter cyber threats is also of great importance. Given this emerging threat, I urge the Philippine Army to bolster its cybersecurity capabilities to keep up with the rapid technological advancements and help maintain the country's security and stability. I hope that you will adopt the lessons you have learned, the best practices you have gained from joint operations and interactions with other major services of the AFP and our foreign defense counterparts. Let the time-honored creed of honor, patriotism, and duty be your guidepost in marching towards total victory as we create a Bagong Pilipinas that prioritizes peace, progress, and stability. Again, I wish the Philippine Army a happy 127th founding anniversary. Mabuhay ang Hukbong Katihan ng Pilipinas! Mabuhay ang Bagong Pilipinas! Ladies and gentlemen, those are the words of the Commander-in-Chief. Let us remain steadfast in the fulfillment of our duties and support the administration's goal of a Bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat, Philippine Army, at mabuhay.
Thank you very much, Secretary Gilberto S. Teodoro, Jr. of the Department of National Defense. Please be seated. May we now invite your attention as our Special Forces troopers conduct the military free fall. Military free fall is a technique used by Special Operations Forces to infiltrate behind enemy lines. It involves jumping out of an aircraft at high altitude and free falling until the parachute is deployed. The military free fall allows operators to insert into areas where traditional parachute jumps would not be feasible due to the distance from the target or the need for stealth. MFF is a highly specialized skill that requires extensive training and experience. Operators must be proficient in skydiving techniques and familiar with the equipment used in the military free-fall operations. They must also be able to navigate using the GPS and other tools, as well as be prepared to deal with potential hazards such as high winds, difficult terrain, and enemy detection. Area undetected, giving them a tactical advantage over the enemy. Military freefall is just one of the many techniques used by Special Operations Forces for infiltration, and it requires careful planning, coordination, and execution to be successful. The tactical employment of the military freefall involves careful planning and execution to ensure the safety and success of the mission. Well, here are some key considerations for the tactical employment of the military freefall. Mission planning. Before conducting the military freefall operation, mission planners must carefully assess the objective and select the appropriate insertion method, equipment, and personnel. They must also consider factors such as weather, terrain, and enemy activity. Equipment selection. Military freefall requires specialized equipment including oxygen systems, cold weather gear, and high-altitude parachutes. Operators must be trained on the proper use of this equipment and conduct thorough equipment checks before each mission. Personnel selection and training. MFF requires highly trained and experienced operators who can handle the physical and mental demands of the high-altitude parachuting. Operators must undergo rigorous training in the MFF techniques, including high-altitude jumps, oxygen systems, and emergency procedures. Also, operational security. MFF operations are often conducted in hostile environments, and operational security is paramount to mission success. Operators must take measures to avoid detection and maintain secrecy before, during, and after the mission. Overall, the tactical employment of the military freefall requires careful planning, specialized equipment, highly trained personnel, operational security, and risk management. When executed properly, military freefall can provide a highly effective means of infiltrating enemy territory and conducting special operations mission. While upon reaching their designated landing zone, the Special Forces team will immediately cache their parachutes to avoid detection and will proceed to their objectives. Ladies and gentlemen, what you have witnessed is the military freefall operation conducted by the troops of the Special Forces Regiment Airborne Philippine Army.
Biyayang bigay ng may kapal sa ganda mong namumungkot tangi. Bantay ay matatapang na bayani.